And during the few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Dr. Nettles. This is video number 3 in our leadership series, and today's video is entitled Leadership Requires Righteousness. And I want to add a little bit to last time, that leadership requires energy, because it does. And a lot of times we find ourselves as leaders full of energy, but sometimes we can have energy that gets drained from us, especially if we get wrapped up in things that are unproductive, or we get around a lot of negative, pessimistic people, or we get our attention, our energy diverted. We have to have focus and keep our energy high to be long-lasting leaders. And that's one of the things that we require is energy, but sometimes that energy can and does get diverted. But we've got to stay focused to make sure that doesn't happen. Well, on to today's topic. Today's topic is energy requires righteousness, because you can have leadership and you can be a leader over some negative things, but that's not real leadership. That's actually deception. And today we're going to talk about power. We're going to talk about 2 different types of power. The first one being positional power, and the other being personal power. Because leadership requires this righteousness and power. So if we're looking at positional power, we could find ourselves being motivated by a title or a job promotion or something like that, to be the vice president or the president or the CEO of a company. And in a leadership capacity, which those titles are, sometimes if we're looking for positional power, we can be swayed. We can do things that are not righteous. We can do things that are self-satisfying and self-gratifying at the expense of other people. That, in my opinion, is not real leadership. That is a positional power, emphasis on leadership. But there's also a personal power. And when you're dealing with personal power, you're doing things because it's the right thing to do. For example, let's say you have a sales room and you've got a bunch of different salespeople. They're all making the same amount of money. What's going to happen is the people with personal power are going to work twice as hard because they have something inside of them that is compelling them to move forward, to do things for the right reasons, because it's right, and do things and stand up for things because they are righteous, and they're doing things that are right because it's the right thing to do, as opposed to cutting corners or looking for that positional power. Personal power means leadership that is focused on a job well done, and integrity, and the right motives, and personal ethics, and real ethics, as opposed to situational ethics, that where you become like a chameleon. You actually show leadership capacity at the task at hand, but you can sacrifice principles, you can sacrifice morals, you can sacrifice ethics to attain that positional power, whereas personal power, you would never do that. You have a firm foundation in which to build your character. It's a character equation. Personal power requires character and doing the right things regardless if there's anyone in authority who's watching over you, because it's the right thing to do. It is personal power that people that are working in an environment like that do whatever it takes, even if they're making the same amount of money as the person next to them, because it's a job well done and something within them is just gratified by doing that. It's that personal power that takes over that is a gigantic part of leadership. And if you have that personal power and you've got this ethics thing about you, that you just do what's right because it's right, then you are, by definition, a true leader, because you are operating in righteousness. And true leadership and longevity in leadership requires righteousness, doing the right things with personal power, not being victimized or involved in situational ethics, but doing what is right because it's right all the time, even if it's the more difficult and more strenuous path. And that is where true leadership comes into play. True leadership is based on personal power and not positional power. So we'll see you next time in this leadership series. God bless you guys. It's right before Christmas, so Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless you guys.